Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Well, the outfielders may not need their sunglasses today. A little blue sky out there, but the marine layer greeting fans here for this Thursday afternoon special. Warming up is Kristen Orfia. 2 big hits last night to drive in 2 runs in the Padres' 4-2 victory over the Colorado Rockies. And Colorado, Justin Morneau, Canadian-born, 3 for 3, a home run and 2 RBIs for the Rockies, accounting for both runs last evening. As we welcome you to beautiful Petco Park in the final game of this 4-game series. NL West opponents, the Colorado Rockies 7-9, and the Padres with a win today can climb back to 500 at 8-8. And hello, everyone. Day baseball. I'm all for it. Nice change of pace with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. We're pleased that you've joined us. Ian Kennedy will be the starting pitcher for San Diego.
Remember the numbers we showed Andrew Kasher against the Rockies? Kind of struggling, right? Well, yesterday he made quite the adjustment to get away with the win here. Ian Kennedy can do the same thing, and how sweet it would be for the Padres to win 3 out of 4 from these Rockies. 15 starts. These are career numbers against the Rocks. 3-3 record. 2.8 ERA, pretty good numbers. The strikeouts, this is something that he's got to keep going. Andrew Kasher made the adjustment. Seems like the adjustment needs to be on the Colorado Rocky hitters, but the one thing that Ian Kennedy needs to do, that he really hasn't done it the last couple starts, get the feel for all 4 of his pitches. He's got quite an arsenal. He's got that changeup, that curveball working, along with the location of the fastball. He could be pretty unhittable.
Well, we talk every game about pitching or we talk about hitting. We don't talk enough about defense, but today is the day. We have seen some fabulous plays made in this series.
Dick, you always say a pitcher's best friend is the double play. I think one of the other best friends is great defense, as we mentioned. Tulowitzki with the flip throw over to first base. On the left side of this infield for the Rockies, Nolan Arenado. I've talked to a lot of people. They say, just give that kid the gold glove right now.
How about Everett Cabrera for the Padres? And Dino.
Cabrera, if he gets to it, he's going to catch it, and he makes up that strong arm. Denorfia also gets to the ball very quickly. The thing about both of those position players for the Padres, not only do they get to the ball, but they position themselves to where they can make a good, solid throw, and we saw that last night.
Well, Chris Denorfia never gave up his baseball dream, even at age 28, 29, when no one seemed interested. The Padres did, and how fortunate they are. Chris Denorfia, his all-purpose value to the San Diego Padres. We'll have more on the Padres starting right fielder when we return to Petco. Consecutive series with a victory against the Rockies today as we go down to Kate Osborne. Kate.
Thanks, Dick. Coming off a big win for the Padres, Bud Black attributes much of the team's success to Chris Denorfia and his on and off the field performance.
With Dino, you have great preparation. You have great mental makeup, and most importantly, he's got talent. He's got skill. I mean, he's a good player. He's a really good player. So, and he's an integral part of what we have to do as the San Diego Padre team to win.
And that was our Geico quote of the game. Chris Denorfia in the lineup. He and the Padres are looking to take the series today against the Rockies. First pitch coming up next on Fox Sports San Diego.
Thursday afternoon to get to the 500 mark. Take 2 out of 3 from Detroit. A chance for 3 of 4 from the Colorado Rockies. And here's the Rockies lineup brought to you by Mattress Discounters. Leading it off, it'll be Charlie Blackmon. His robust .442 batting average. Then Michael Kadire, Corey Dickinson will hit third. Troy Tulowitzki, always a problem in that cleanup spot. Justin Morneau, 3 for 3 and a sacrifice fly last night. Willeen Rosario, he's homered in this series. He has been very tough to get out. Nolan Arenado, he put on a defensive display last night. Oh, man, can he field his position. DJ LeMahieu hits 8, and Franklin Morales, a left-handed pitcher, will bat 9.
And let's check out the scouting report for veteran right-hander Ian Kennedy. Used all 4 of his weapons. He's got the fastball, the curveball, the slider, and the changeup, and mix it up. He is quite capable. Not only just having 1 or 2 of those pitches working for him this afternoon, if he has all 4, watch out for the Padres taking 3 out of 4 from the Rocks.
Well, the man upstairs must be a baseball fan because he's cleared some of that marine layer. Looking down now, the sun trying to brighten the Petco Park surface. As we look at the Padres defense, brought to you by the Arumco Group. Nady in left, Venable in center, and Denorfia in right. Amarista for Chase Headley at third. Cabrera the shortstop, Jerko at second, and Tommy Medica starts at first base today. Grandal behind the plate for Ian Kennedy. Here we go. Blackmon steps in. He has the best day batting average of any National League player, .591. And the first pitch of the game just misses, ball one. Blackmon is second to Chase Utley of Philadelphia overall batting average. Utley at .449, Blackmon at .442. Looped behind third, and Cabrera's there to back up Amarista for the out. That'll bring up Michael Kadire.
Hey, Kennedy right there doing a good job of not getting Charlie Blackmon extended. Big first out for the right-hander.
Kadire against Kennedy, 4 for 14 with a home run. Solid again this year, hitting .333. The reigning National League bat champion hit .331 last season. Now 35 years of age, the veteran outfielder. Fastball at 91.
I remember in spring training, Dick, Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, said that the velocity was up a little bit for Ian Kennedy. Nothing wrong with 91, though, if you locate it quite nicely.
Slap foul off to the right.
Okay, this at bat, Dick, right? The hitter at the plate, Michael Kadire. He's throwing him how many pitches?
3.
How many of them for strikes?
2.
What were we talking about earlier in our pregame
Right.
show, right? 2 of the first 3 pitches, 4 strikes for Ian Kennedy, and he is holding the hammer.
And a foul tip. It's not unlike tennis. Many feel in the game of tennis, the 4th point is the most important point. And if you can win 2 of the first 3, you're 30-15, but 15-30. Uh-oh.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it's a big, the 4th pitch in the series to a hitter. Very important. In this case, Kadire fouls it off, 1 and 2, but Kennedy in command and sinks that one low. A changeup. He felt that in his last outing, his changeup was as good as it's been all year long, including spring training. He throws about 1/5 of the total pitches Kennedy will offer based on his career will be changeups.
That was a changeup there that he missed. Pitch number 5, down and away. Here comes the curveball. Spike curve.
Ground ball swept to short. Cabrera there to glove and fired to first for the out. 2 out.
Dick, you mentioned the changeup, and Ian Kennedy throws. Hey, looks like a spider. A couple of fangs coming at you. That's actually in between his middle finger and his ring finger, folks. His index finger is tucked behind right there. That's his index finger tucked back there. Ugh, my tendons are just killing me right now trying to get that grip.
That's like a forkball grip, isn't it?
It's called the Vulcan. Remember, you were a Star Trek fan, weren't you?
A little bit.
Remember? Made the. Oh, that was Star Wars. Live long and prosper.
Corey Dickerson, the left fielder, 1 for 7, getting a start today. Just called up from Colorado Springs.
There's the grip again. Huh. That's it. In between the middle finger and his ring finger. That's where the split is.
1-1. Rockies, after the game today, will fly back to Denver. They host Philadelphia for 3 over the weekend, and then San Francisco for 3. Giants come here tomorrow night. Two balls and a strike.
Here's that. Remember Spock starts live long and prosper. That's what Ian Kennedy does, right? Like that. And then his index finger is tucked under here. It's killing me right now, right here. But that's the way he throws his changeup.
How's that different from a forkball grip?
Forkball grip is traditionally just, in between your index finger and your middle finger. Two-seam fastball grip, and then you just split your fingers like that. That Elroy face, Dick.
And that acts like a knuckleball, no spin.
Like that, and it'll tumble all over the place. Yeah, that's the beauty, because there's not really one set way it's going to come out of your hand. So the tumbling effect will make it go down and in. It might make it go down and away. That's the beauty of it.
2-2 now to Corey Dickerson.
Got to go for Ian Kennedy, fewer than 15 pitches. That's what I'm looking for right here. That was pitch number 13. If he can get out of the first inning with 15 or fewer, that'd be nice.
Yeah, 6 innings at 15 an inning is 90, which would allow him maybe to go 7. Hasn't gotten past 6 yet. 5 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. His first 3 starts. Another foul.
That was a purpose pitch up out of the zone. Yasmani Grandal had the crouch working for him in the high target, hoping for the swing and miss. And that's something you can't control either, Dick, right? Is the foul balls.
We've seen a lot in this series. The Rockies, well, they're leading the major leagues by a bunch in team hitting, 295 as a team. A lot of foul balls.
I mean, these guys are big league hitters. They've got great hand-eye coordination. They're able to foul off some pitches that are close.
By the mound, Jerko, tough play. He gets him by a half step. 1, 2, 3. Kennedy retires. The Rockies in order, and here come the Padres, bottom of the first. Brought to you by Buick. Visit your local Buick dealer or go to Buick.com. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. By your San Diego Lexus dealer. And by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at Southwest.com. And the Padres loaded up at least the first 6 batters right-handed hitting against the lefty Morales. Brought to you by Toyota. Cabrera working on an 8-game hitting streak. Then Chris Denorfia, a couple of RBI base hits last night. Jed Jerko. Xavier Nady. He's put some punch into the lineup and was robbed of a double last night. Yasmani Grandal hits 6. Tommy Medica. Medica's 6. Those are all right-handed hitters. Then a couple of lefties, Will Venable and Alexi Amarista. Venable's had good success in the series. And the pitcher, Ian Kennedy.
Well, Franklin Morales, over the course of his career, he's pitched in 128 games. Only 27 starts. This being number 28, and an injury to Brett Anderson got him in the rotation. But this is a guy who's really inconsistent with his strike throwing. So the Padre hitter's got to be patient. Hopefully he's a little wild in the strike zone this afternoon.
Yeah, he's so far this year 11 2/3 innings, 9 runs, 16 hits, 6 walks. So he has struggled early. Cabrera takes high and away. Morales was with the Boston Red Sox last year, traded over in the offseason. Remember Jonathan Herrera, pretty good hitter, utility infielder, goes to Boston, and they get Morales to the Rockies and Chris Martin, a pitcher. inside, and it's 2-1. The Padres hadn't seen a southpaw since the opening game against the Dodgers, Ryu, until last night. Now they get De La Rosa and Morales, a couple of port siders back to back. Slap high and out of play. That'll make it into the upper tier, and then it caroms down.
Now he's going to text all his buddies and say, hey, I got a big league ball. And he gave it to
his lady fair.
Maybe his mom or friend.
Strike 3 called, says plate umpire Las Diaz. Cabrera wasn't convinced that was good. Check out the Rockies defense this afternoon. Dickerson in left. Carlos Gonzalez out of the starting lineup, a day off. Blackman in center. Kadire in right. Arenado, keep your eyes on him. What a glove. Tulowitzki, that whole left side, making terrific plays last night in defeat. LeMahieu at second, Morneau at first. Rosario behind the plate, and Morales on the mound. Chris Denorfia takes a strike. Denorfia's average up to 275. Lifetime against lefties, 315 for Chris. Jed Jerko will be next. Nice job. The national anthem, Miss Poway, Jackie Foster. Our national anthem before the game. Well done.
An outstanding job.
2-1. Denorfia, who has faced Morales twice and base hits both occasions.
And Morales kind of a max effort type guy, right? He puts a lot into each and every pitch. Try to wear him down. Get that pitch count up early.
Hits the corner. 2-2. Just as he went 2-2 to Cabrera, and Everett Cabrera took a third strike.
When you come to the ball yard, you have to get a foam finger, and you got to share it with your friends, and then you got to poke each other with it.
A little pretend sword fight.
There you go.
Full count, 3-2. Denorfia. Sharply hit to the left of Tulowitzki. He gobbles it up. Takes care of Denorfia, 2 away. That'll bring up Jed Jerko.
Well, the left-hander Franklin Morales, you see the games and starts. 3 games as being his second start. The high ERA. Almost a strikeout per innings pitched. 2 home runs in those 12 innings, and the opponents hit 327. The fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. He can be wild in the strike zone. He's got a big curveball as well. But you got to make him work a lot early, Dick. And a lot of the pitches, a lot of the fastballs that we've seen early on have been up, called for strikes.
He especially has trouble with right-handed hitters, and that's why Bud Black has the first 6 men in the order hitting from the right side. They're hitting .378 against Morales with a couple of home runs. And that's in 11 2/3 innings. There he is, Andrew Cashner. 2 starts in this homestand, 1 run allowed, and 2 victories for the big man. We won't see him again. It's unfortunate, the long homestand, but only 2 showings for Cashner. He'll next pitch the first game of the road trip coming up in Milwaukee.
It's a nice line right there. Getting into the 8th inning.
3-0 to Jerko. On the inside corner, Jerko with a false step toward first. Thought he might have a walk. And well placed.
Yeah, the Fox Tracks brought to you by Nissan, right on the inside corner, right at the knees.
That's a good take on his part.
Yep.
And that one misses inside, and the Padres have the game's first base runner. Jerko's 7th walk. He leads the team. Alonso out of the lineup today. Tommy Medica playing first with Josh Johnson. Johnson's going to travel to Dr. Andrews, a famed surgeon. Does a lot of the Tommy John surgeries to get an opinion as to whether or not he may need to go under the knife again.
Yeah, that's not a name you like to see on your schedule as things to do, right?
Get that right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, 10 o'clock game, appointment with Dr. Andrews. Not good, but we wish Josh Johnson all the best.
Xavier Nady, 3 for 16, all 3 hits, extra bases, a double and 2 home runs.
Back.
Morales has been called for 2 balks this season, and that's in just under 12 innings. And even that move, a little extra action with the feet. Foul. That caught left shin guard of catcher Rosario. So he's in front of Nady, 2 strikes, and Rosario going to go out and make sure Morales likes what he's about to suggest for this 0-2 pitch.
And 0-2, if Morales bounces it or chooses to put it down to the zone, Jed Jerko's got to be heads up. That ball scoots away, could take 90 feet and get into scoring position.
And with the Padres winning 2 of 3 games, both wins involved a misplay by the catcher, either a pass ball or a wild pitch that scored runs. Struck him out. Took something off that curveball. 2 strikeouts for Morales. First inning in the book. No score at Petco. Now for you to tweet your photos using hashtag SDFanPhoto. Chance to have it shown on our telecast, brought to you by AT&T. We'll show you one a bit later. Troy Tulowitzki on this day in 2008, April 17, 2008. He ended the longest game the Padres have ever played, 22 innings. Ooh, big curveball for a strike. 22 innings, and Colorado beat San Diego 2-1 in the longest game in the major leagues in some 15 years. 6 hours and 15 minutes before Tulo could drive in the winning run in the 22nd.
I remember that one well.
In there.
Hey, Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire, it's been evident he's calling the high strike. It's a legitimate strike according to Fox Tracks. Remember, Everett Cabrera got called looking. It was a high strike, but according to tracks, it was in fact a strike. Wants it on the ground here.
And Kennedy accommodates. It's 1-2. Tulowitzki, Morneau, and Rosario. 3 long ball hitters stacked up in that lineup. 4, 5, and 6 in Walt Weiss's order. Strike 3 called inside corner. Tulowitzki caught looking. First strikeout, Kennedy.
Well, he had him on the defensive. 2 of the first 3 pitches were strikes. It was a 1-2 count. Tell you what, you get Troy Tulowitzki looking at a called third, you're doing something very special. Nice sequence right there by Ian Kennedy. Adjusting in his glove, the fastball grip. Bury it on the inside. Called looking.
Morneau, 3 for 3 and a sacrifice fly, plus a home run last night to account for the 2 Colorado scores. He's the number 9 hitter in the National League as he steps in with that .354 average. High in the air off third, and that'll sail into the crowd about 8-10 rows. Morneau, 4 doubles away from 300 in his career. That's the second most ever by a Canadian-born player.
Those are nice numbers. That's a nice little career right there.
Rolls it to second. Jerko there to flip to first for the out. 5 in a row now for Kennedy. Willeen Rosario. Best news for the Padres last night when the game started was Rosario wasn't in the starting lineup. Did come in as a pinch hitter and blooped a double to right. He's homered in this series, and that's his 8th home run in 30 games against San Diego.
Can't let him get extended. Can't get him ahead in the count, a hitter's count. And don't throw him a breaking ball for a strike.
He's able to turn on that inside pitch. Check swing foul. So Rosario with those home runs and other base hits with 32 RBIs. 2013 and now this season, most runs batted in by any opponent. We're going to see Hunter Pence and the Giants and Buster Posey coming in tomorrow night for the first of 3.
So this is how you like to face him, with nobody on.
Fouled at the plate.
Hit him in the box.
And Padre dugout trying to get a call from plate umpire Diaz that the ball struck him in fair territory. That was not the case. So Bud Black going to come out and make certain.
He's still in the box, right?
Still in the box.
Ball
still
hits
in the
him
box.
right. Didn't hit him yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
His left foot was solidly in place in the box. So 0-2 the count. Tomorrow night, 6:30 on Fox Sports San Diego. Opening game of the 3-game series with the Giants. Ooh, off the mask of catcher Yasmani Grandal. It'll be Tyson Ross for the Padres tomorrow night against Matt Cain. Cain off to a slow start, 0-2. Saturday at 5 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. Eric Stoltz 0-2 against Tim Hudson. Hudson is 2-0. And then Robbie Erlin and Tim Lincecum will close out the homestand on Sunday. He goes, strike 3. 2 impressive innings for Ian Kennedy. 6 up, 6 down. Yasmani Grandal will lead off the Padres second, with Tommy Medica and Will Venable to follow.
Park, bottom of the second, Rockies, Padres, and let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Honda Dealers of San Diego County. Hey, get starter on the ropes early. That being the left-hander for the Rockies, Franklin Morales. He can get wild, extend the inning, make him work, get that pitch count up, maybe 25, 30 pitches, hey, and win the series, Dick. How sweet would it be? Win 3 out of 4 from these Rockies, get some good mojo going as the Giants come into town to finish up this homestand, which has been a good one.
He had to rally from the 3-6 start, get to 500, 8-8. Looper into center and run down by Charlie Blackmon. Thought that might drop for Yasmani Grandal. Might have broken the bat in the process. 1 out to Tommy Medica. Medica with a home run last night. That's a big one because Justin Morneau at homer, top of the second for a brief 1-0 Colorado lead. And then Medica answered with this blast to deep left.
It was a 2-2 pitch. He was in the hole, spun on it quite nicely. Hard holding back the smiles.
So in 28 games, Medica, counting the games he played in September last year, he's hit 4 home runs. Four for 19 thus far on the season. Well, Morales so far doesn't look anything like the numbers that he brought into this game, does he?
Yeah.
9 runs in 11 2/3 innings, 16 hits and 6 walks. 6.39 ERA.
I'm betting on a breaking ball down and in here.
High pop up off third and down into the left field corner, and maybe a play. And into the corner goes Dickerson to make the catch. America's new sports network is the place to turn before every slam, every goal, and every game with America's pregame only on Fox Sports 1. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Tune in to America's pregame weekdays at 3 Pacific only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your cable satellite provider, go to foxsports1.com. Will Venable brings a .220 average into this game. Looking for his first home run. Venable, lefty against lefty, is 2 for 3 against Morales.
Well, some pitchers on the bench wear the jacket. Ian Kennedy elects to just wrap the towel around the wing while he awaits going out there.
Chopper to second. LeMahieu over to Morneau. A 1-2-3 inning for Morales. On to the third. No score at Petco. Taste as evidence. Let's go to Kate Osborne.
Thanks, Dick. I'm down here with Jose Rojano with the Lucho Libre Taco Shop located here on the Toyota Terrace level right by section 213. Now, we all know that San Diego has a lot of great taco shops, but what makes these tacos so different?
Well, besides the masked wrestlers on the walls and all that stuff, we just try to use better ingredients, and we try to combine them in such a way that it makes us unique in San Diego.
Now let's talk about these tempting options you have right here. They look absolutely amazing. Let's start here.
Thank you. This is our famous Surfing California burrito, and it's shrimp, steak, French fries, super secret chipotle sauce, avocado, and pico de gallo.
Now you said French fries in that taco.
It's a burrito, and yeah, it's French fries. San Diego's known for the California burrito, and this is our version of it.
Wow, that's amazing. Now we're going to move on to over here. What do we have over here?
Sabrina has our queso taco, and it's a steak taco with a crispy cheese disc, and it's served with our chipotle sauce and a little bit of more cheese and avocado slices.
Mark and Dick, we have a burrito over here. We have a taco. You want me to save you something for after the game?
Yeah, why not?
Both of them.
Looks great, doesn't it?
Outstanding.
Well, you know, here,
you,
it really is. Yeah, we would love hot dogs. Hey, come on. We'll go for those. That's a standard fare as Amarista makes a nice play on LeMahieu. There's the bare hand pick up and go. That was our instructional in our pregame show yesterday.
Nice job. And if you were watching, as Dick Enberg just mentioned, a great job on the instructional and a great demonstration by Alexei Amarista. The bare hand flip throw. All one move. On the move, firing a strike, and Ian Kennedy hitting the dirt so he doesn't get it in the noggin. That's a nice play by Alexei.
And play any position.
Yep.
Here's Morales, the pitcher, hitting ninth, of course. There's a strike. Just to finish our thought, you know, no denying. We both love a good hot dog, and you go in a ball game and have a nice beverage and hot dog. But here, you've got so many options of good food.
I love a good anything. I mean, you know, hamburger, hot dog, burrito.
Spill some sauce on your ball cap. You might go for that.
Nice catch by that man there. Another happy customer.
2 strikes on Morales. Strike 3 called, and that's the third punch out for Ian Kennedy. He's gone through the Rockies order 9 in a row.
Get to a game, come on and enjoy a big group. Your group will save the special seating areas like the Jack Track, the Kona Cave, or the Kona Cove, scoreboard welcomes, on-field experiences, and much, much more. Bring your group of 20 or more to a Padres game here at beautiful Petco Park. To get on the horn, call 619-795-5555 or emailing groupsales@padres.com. Now that's groupsales@padres.com.
You know, Mike, there's so many professional and social groups of 20 or more. What a great way to all get together, come out to the ball yard. Padres will take good care of you with all the special extras and enjoy National League action with your San Diego Padres.
A lot of people brought their gloves to the ball yard today. That's a good sign.
Bottom of the third against Franklin Morales. The Padres looking for their first hit. In fact, the first hit of the game. They'll send up Amarista, then Kennedy, and leadoff hitter Cabrera. Only base runner Jerko walked in the first. Alexi 8/427. That figures out at 296. .91 on the fastball. Morales looking good.
See if Alexi goes over that high fastball for a strike. Remember, Las Diaz, the home plate umpire, calling the pitches up. There's a perfect example, that pitch right there. Pitch number 3. Look on the Fox tracks. It's up. Hitters are going to start hacking at that. Peeking into the glove of Morales. It's the fastball. Can't get on top of it.
Struck him out. That's 3 for Morales. One away to Kennedy. 0 for 5 is the Padre pitcher. Limited opportunities to swing the stick here in 2014.
Getting on top of that four-seam fastball, letting it fly once again up in the zone. Well, the last thing the Padres want is to have Morales fall into a groove, get him deeper into the ball game.
He first signed with the Rockies in 2007 and then went to Boston for a year, got himself a World Series ring. $20 games for the Bo Sox last year, 2-2. He was on the DL twice, so that accounts for only 20 appearances. And then back to Colorado. A ball, 2 strikes to Kennedy. Base is empty. 1 out here in the last of the 3rd inning. He's got a lot of action on that curveball.
Yes, he does. And if he's got a good one working, it's tough to hit.
Hit sharply back at 3rd. And there's Arenado giving ground and then whipping that throw across in time.
Better hit it somewhere else if you're thinking about getting a hit, huh? Hey, fans, we've talked about it. It's coming up Saturday, April 19th. Giants are in town at 5:40. All fans are going to take home a replica alternate Jed Jerko jersey and a pet bandana presented by our good friends at Petco. Now that's the power of together, right? Actually, it's a 3-for-1, as Mr. Enberg said. Get your tickets today at Padres.com or get on that horn. Dial 619-795-5555.
It's that material that breathes.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And if you didn't see it yesterday.
Oh, yes, here's your lesson. That's how you pack up, huh?
Getting ready for the road trip.
He orders an iron in his room wherever we go.
I travel with a can of spray starch.
I know you do. We're not kidding. You're really handy there. And you whistle while you iron. I like that part too. Next door.
You got to have the threads looking good. No wrinkles.
Cabrera won the count. He struck out the first time. Trying to extend his hitting streak to 9.
Change up. Only one walk so far given up by Morales. And that's been the issue throughout his career. 9 innings, he's averaging 4.5 walks.
Two and two now to Cabrera. Well, he's pitching for his spot in the rotation after a couple of rough outings, giving up 9 runs in 11 2/3 innings and 16 hits. This is his chance to prove to Walt Weiss that he belongs in the rotation. Line to right field, fair ball into the corner. Cabrera, who leads the Padres with 6 doubles, will add another, 7th of the season. First hit of the game. Everett Cabrera, and his hitting streak now reaches 9 consecutive games.
Oh, nice short, quick stroke on that pitch. Remember, Morales has been up in the zone all day. That looks like a slider that's up. And just out of the reach of Justin Morneau at first base. And looking at the way that Everett was running, he realized that was going to be a for sure double. And remember, he's got that sore knee, right? So no need to really put it into full throttle. He knew that was going to be a double. He cruised into second base.
Here's Chris Denorfia, a chance to give the Padres the lead here in the 3rd.
Well, let's take a look at Everett after the double down the right field line. He can see it down the line, and he realizes it's going to be 2.
And with 2 outs, there's no purpose in trying to think triple. Rosario, another trip to the mound, back behind home plate. Denorfia grounded to short, hit it sharply, but right to Tulowitzki the first time. .94 on that fastball. There's the spray chart for Denorfia, brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
He likes to go up the center of the diamond in the right field, and you know that's a good thing. No baseballs pulled to left field for Chris Denorfia.
And the outfield shades him toward right.
You know, this might be a different situation to change that because, Dick, as you mentioned, the outfield is going that way. But if he gets a breaky ball, if he gets a soft breaky ball, lefty on righty, I think Chris Denorfia can wear it out in left or left center field.
And he works the count to 3-0. Jed Churko on deck. Lays in the fastball. 93. Pretty good velocity from Morales. Did you think he got it up there that fan? 94 tops out.
No, when I've seen him pitching, he gets his fastball up there. It's above 90, but consistently.
Strike 2.
92ish, but he could touch 94.
He just did with that delivery on the inside corner with movement. Two-out double. Everett Cabrera, his 7th of the season. He's among the National League leaders in 2 base hits. He's tied for 5th coming in with 6. High chopper toward the hole. Tulowitzki off balance. The throw in. No, he beat it out. Tulowitzki couldn't get a lot of power behind that throw, running away from first base in the hole, and even with his incredibly strong arm, the ball died in that last 30 feet going over to Morneau, and Dino legs it out for an infield hit.
Hey, great hustle. You're going to get that each and every time with Chris Denorfia. First base umpire Scott Barry. Safe. And you know what? That's one of the keys to the game, right? Extending the inning, right? 2 outs. Run around second. Chris Denorfia, infield single, extending the inning for Jed Jerko.
Jerko walked his first time. Denorfia wincing a bit. He hit the bag awkwardly. Padres with runners at the corners here. 2 outs in the third. In the dirt and blocked by Rosario. That was a tricky stop by the catcher. That ball was spinning away from him.
Yeah. It was a breaking ball. That ball actually hit and then checked back up towards the glove of Rosario. That'll do that on the breaking ball.
Jerko leads the club with 8 RBIs. Good speed aboard. Cabrera down the line from third. Denorfia off first. Morales is 27. Venezuela. Way inside. Whoa. Rosario, he's got to be ready to dive left and right as Morales about to offer his 50th pitch of the game.
Yeah, and that was a fastball. You know, usually pitchers are going to be off with a breaking ball or whatever. He wanted that pitch on one end of the plate and it ended up nearly to the backstop.
Pulled to third. Nice hop there for Arenado. The rest is easy for the third baseman. And the Padres leave 2 in the third. No score as we go to the fourth.
We've got a nice mix. We've got some young players, but we got some guys that have been around and done some things, and they do it the right way. And that peer pressure is, you know how powerful that is in a clubhouse. And when you have the veteran guys, you know, handling themselves, conducting themselves the right way, that makes my job so much easier.
Yeah, that's what you want, that mix. Veterans that'll take charge in that clubhouse so that you don't have to do all the work yourself. They're invaluable. You know, they go to young players and say, hey, that's not the way we do it here. Come on, you got to bear down.
And that's the way Walt Weiss did it, Dick. Right, Mark?
Yeah, I think he's a great influence and a great choice for this organization. And yes, you need that influence to basically show you the way, set a precedence in the locker room and on the field.
Ian Kennedy going through the lineup the first time without a base runner. We start again from the top. Blackmon, Kadire, and Dickerson in the top of the fourth.
Remember, Walt Weiss came up with the Oakland Athletics in '87, played with those good teams.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, and some great players.
2-1 to Blackmon, who popped to short his first time. Walt played his college ball in Chapel Hill for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Slicing into the crowd. 2-2 on Blackmon.
You know, guys, when you talk about Walt Weiss, and I think that the presence that he had, and I was around him as a special instructor with the Colorado Rockies, he, as a player, he had a quiet confidence about him. He also had that intensity to go along with it, but it wasn't voiced. It was basically the way he played, and I think that's what he wants to lend to this club as well.
In many ways, you could be describing the manager in the other dugout, Bud Black.
You're exactly right. I think that goes a long way, especially when you have communication within your players. They're starting to buy into that system. Bud Black has had a few years to establish that.
Another late swing and a foul.
You know, when I look at the Padres, Dick and Mark, I think of a player like Xavier Nady, who has come home again after originally being drafted by the Padres, and now this year on the roster. He can be that influence for the younger players.
I agree with you, and you have to have that guy. We saw Mark Kotsay last year, and you're going to say, yes, well, Mark Kotsay didn't have a great year offensively. Well, his work was done in the locker room, on the bench, and that goes a long way. You got to have a guy, a veteran presence on your bench.
In your playing days, early or late? 2-2 again, fouled away. Was there a couple of examples of a veteran player that everyone had such great admiration and respect?
Yeah, Dick, I had so many times where my first full year was Ozzie Smith's last year, and he was on the bench. Royce Clayton was the shortstop, and he was on the bench feeding me all kinds of different things, how to work, how to be a professional, how to be off the field. I think that's one of those things that I was just very fortunate to be in a situation like that, having a veteran presence.
Another foul. Blackmon, who is a tough guy to strike out. In fact, the second toughest thus far in the National League. He is fanned only twice. That's an ideal leadoff man. Great average and on base percentage. Fouls a lot of pitches away. Makes that pitcher work. He did that in the first at bat. Here he is again.
And as I mentioned earlier, that's out of the control of Ian Kennedy. There's nothing he can do about that.
Another foul. Best influence, a veteran influence that I saw back when I was doing the California Angels games was Don Baylor. Fouled again.
Mark, did you have a guy that sticks out for you?
I did. Mike Krukow, Dwayne Kuiper, one a pitcher, one an infielder. And same along the same lines that you said, Mark, because being a starting pitcher when I first came up, I had a lot of time on the bench. Dwayne Kuiper was a bench player later in his career, and Mike Krukow being a starter as well. But like you said, not only just the game of baseball, but how to deal with the fans, how to deal with the media, how to be a pro, how to go about your business.
2-2 again. Swung on and missed. He got him on the 10th pitch of that at bat. Only the third time Blackmon has struck out. He went after a ball inside.
Well, it looked like the curveball, the spike curve from Ian Kennedy, and great placement and a nice job by Yasmani Grandal picking it out of the dirt on the swing and the tag for the strikeout. And let's peek inside the glove. Pull down the shade for the strikeout. That was quite a battle right there.
Here's Kadire. Grounded to short his first time. 92 on that. Riding the fastball from Ian Kennedy. Played his high school ball in Huntington Beach, and of course then matriculated at the University of Southern California. 1-1. Quite an athletic family. He married a USC basketball player, wife Allison. In there.
That's
1 and 2.
Paint on the outside corner.
Changeup. 2 and 2.
Well, Mark Sweeney, from my vantage point, Ian Kenny looks really free and easy motion. Doesn't seem to be overthrowing. I think that's a big key for the right-hander.
Yeah, free and easy, and he also looks too like he's got a good tempo. He's getting on that mound,
Yep.
staying in that rhythm, not trying to overthink.
Another foul. That one right off the facing of the press box, the Ray Kroc monogram, and into the hands of that young lad. Brian Trilliman's going to have to get on the phone, order some more baseballs. They've knocked a lot into the crowd in this 4-game series. Line hooking foul into the crowd.
Well, Dick, you mentioned it earlier. Charlie Blackmon not striking out all that often this year, just the 3rd time. Here's the spike curveball from Ian Kennedy. On the left, the grip. On the right, the result. Perfect placement in the hole, 2 strikes. It was quite a battle. He fished for it. It was a short hopper for the strikeout.
And that grip, it's almost like a knuckle curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bert Hooton special.
Happy Hooton. Yeah, good call.
Nice play by Medica. The flip to Kennedy covering. 2 away. Left fielder Corey Dickerson is next. 2 outs, bases empty.
Hey, nice to see Tommy Medica go to his right there, guys, and make a play. Might not have, hung a star on it or a gold glove type play, but, Tommy Medica getting the start over there today at first base.
Big home run last night. Dickerson bounced to Jerko at second. His at bat in the 1st inning. Nice cut. Fouls it back. Well, all 3 previous games of this series close. The Padres rallied to win 5-4. They were down 4-0 Monday night. And the Rockies prevailed 3-2 game 2. Then last night San Diego 4-2 and no score here in the 4th inning today. Pitching dominating so far. Right through the swing.
Yeah.
92 on the fastball.
Right at the knees. That's exactly where you want to be. You're right, though, Dick. This pitching staff for the Padres, they've been just pitching their hearts out. Executing pitches, sticking with the game plan.
And another foul.
Been a couple of pitches this at bat that Dickerson has had right down the center of the plate. Can't catch up to it. Andrew Kastner, Chase Headley, Tyson Ross talking ball in the dugout. Those guys get all the cool sunglasses. Don't be afraid.
"24-year-old Dickerson, native of Macomb, Mississippi.
Mark, I wanted to ask you too. You see a good swing by Corey Dickerson on that first fastball. It fouls back. And as a pitcher, do you want to throw a breaking ball because he had a good swing on that?
I want to throw a changeup down and away. If a guy is on my fastball, I'm going to throw a changeup, especially a left-hander, down and away, because it's going to have the illusion of a fastball. And this is just one guy's opinion. I'm not going to throw him a breaking ball down and in, as opposed to a changeup down and away, something that's going to go down and away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Ian Kennedy, who has been perfect through 4 innings. Padres will bring up Nady, Grandal, and Medica in the bottom of the 4th. Time for the Southwest Airlines Military Spotlight. And of course, on Sunday, as always, Military Day here at Petco Park as we salute our men and women in uniform and those veterans who have served. And tomorrow night, it'll be Tyson Ross against Matt Cain to open the 3-game series, and then baseball night in San Diego Saturday night. Eric Stoltz and Tim Hudson in the giveaway, the Jerko jerseys and the pet handkerchief. What are we calling that?
The bandana?
Bandana.
Oh, yeah.
Pet bandana.
It's a great giveaway. The pet rag. Yeah.
Comes in handy. Nady struck out swinging the first time.
It was a good boy. Hey, time to get multiple base runners and a big hit in this inning. Second time around for this part of the order.
2-0 to Nady. Only 1 walk given up by Morales. No hits until the last inning. 2-out double Cabrera and DeNorfia's infield single. Flipped foul. You know, the old battle, it's all about the pitcher, the hitter battling each other. The pitcher trying to fool the hitter trying to find that one that he can damage. Hank Aaron always felt that he had the advantage. It's a nice quote from Hammer and Hank. Fouled at the plate. He said the pitcher has got only the ball. I've got a bat. So the percentage in weapons is in my favor. And I let the fellow with the ball do the fretting.
That's great.
And that pitcher with the ball facing Aaron did do a lot of fretting.
And the Hall of Famer that wore that number 19 also did some fretting, right? Boy, he was, man. The scouting report on Tony Gwynn when I was with other teams was, just throw it down the middle. Hopefully he'll get himself out.
Throw it down the middle.
That's right.
I heard the same thing.
Inside to Nady.
Mark, I've got a question for you since you're a hitter. And today it's kind of overcast, kind of, but there's still that slight little glare. We've seen some pitches right down the middle, either swung on and missed or foul back. And it might not be the case, but is it a case of where it might be tough to pick up the ball in a day like today?
Yeah, when the sun's out, but when you got to the park today.
That ball drilled to left field. That's got a chance, and it's gone. Nady catches them all. Number 3 for Xavier Nady. And the Padres strike first, 1-0.
Full count. You know, that looked like some type of maybe short breaking ball, or maybe even got around that ball and cut a little bit, whatever it was. He turned on that one nicely, and the Padres are on the board.
Nady leading the home run list for the Padres with his 3rd.
Guys, 3 out of his last 4 hits in the big leagues, home runs.
And
not that bad.
Who had X today and picked the stick?
I'm saying Mike Pomeranz is doing cartwheels up in the press box.
He can do a cartwheel?
Not really, but he'll try.
It's hard to do that when you've got a hot dog in one hand and those nachos in the other, and then a drink as well. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit for Yasmani Grandal. Padres' 4th hit. Still with no one out. Here comes first baseman Tommy Medica.
Well, the big hit. Now hopefully the hits come in bunches. That was a nice stroke by Yasmani. Go up the center of the diamond. And it's protocol. You hit a home run, you go right to the water cooler, and you wet your whistle.
Let the teammates come by and give you a little pat on the back. Medica flying to left, deep down in the corner. His first time.
And Mark Sweeney, you know what's interesting? The second time through the lineup, you get the conversations going. I'm sure you had that many times of what the pitcher, especially today, Morales, features in certain situations.
Yeah, you got to rely on your teammates, and those conversations go a long way. But you look at Franklin Morales; he has that slight pause, and his body jumps at you a little bit. That you tend to see some pitches early in the game, and that you get your timing down.
Now this could be an easy 2. Tulowitzki 6-3 double play. Made to order. Ball hit right to Tulowitzki, moving to the bag, and the rest. A 6-3 double play for the 2 outs here in the 4th, and Will Venable the hitter. Venable grounded to second baseman. LeMahieu is only at bat. Ball 1. Just seems to me, looking back to last year, especially as Venable hit 22 home runs, he was especially powerful, more effective in day games.
Well, you know what? That brings up a point. And Mark Sweeney could weigh in on this one. Do hitters have a tendency to see the ball better during day games, Mark?
It all varies. I mean, from hitter to hitter, I don't think there's exact science on this, but the ball does travel a lot better during the day, especially here.
And that right field shortened last year, all the more closer. Morales getting a call there. 2-1. Sprayed foul. The Dodgers a narrow 2-1 win today up in San Francisco, so they're back in a tie for first place in the NL West. Giants and Dodgers both at 10 and 6. They started today 3 games in front of the Padres. Breaking ball hangs inside. Full count.
It was a full count that X-Nady hit out of the ballpark. We got lefty on lefty here, though. Outfield playing Venable to go the other way.
Struck him out. But the Padres are on the board first here in the 4th inning, leading off Xavier Nady. He finds the bleacher seats and left. 3rd home run of the season. And the Padres have a 1-0 lead. presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Real friendly and real close. By Mercury Insurance. Mercury Insurance is giving away Padres tickets. Learn more at mercuryinsurance.com/Padres. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Visit us at aramco.biz. First pitch with Troy Tulowitzki swung on and missed as we open the 5th inning here at Petco Park. Tulo struck out the first time. 80 back in left field, giving the Padres the lead with his 3rd home run. Tulo, Morneau, and Rosario, kind of the O-O's in the order for the Rockies. Up and in. Look at the hitting chart on Tulowitzki from last year. Now that's the definition of a high ball hitter.
Absolutely right. So if Ian Kennedy wants to go up, you've got to go way up and out by design, and then keep it down around the knees. Boy, down the middle, at the knees or below, 159. Kind of slowed up his arm action on that pitch on the changeup. It's amazing the statistics they come up with. You know, parts of the strike zone where their averages are. We just saw Tulowitzki.
It's wonder that the men of 40, 50 years ago could even play. They didn't have all that information.
Exactly.
They didn't have video to study. And 3-1 the count.
And I also think that can be a detriment to some of these hitters that you're looking at video and you see those numbers. You spend a lot of time just going in and saying, what's my strength? What can I do against this particular pitcher?
That's a good point, Mark. Too many players, you know, they rely on that too much and they overthink it, right?
Paralysis by analysis. 3-1. And there is the first base runner for the Colorado Rockies. 12 straight retired by Kennedy. Lead off one. Can be perilous. Justin Morneau grounded to second his first time.
Now this is where Ian Kennedy really has to concentrate on keeping the ball down. Try to work for a double play. Morneau has yet to ground into a double play.
Lined, and Cabrera times it perfectly. That ball was a dying liner, and Cabrera could have been guilty of leaping too soon. But he was able to hang and make the play.
And this ball slicing away from Everett. Times it perfectly. Nicely done.
There on the transfer, he dropped the ball, so obviously the umpires aren't going to be calling it the way we saw in Cleveland. He easily had made the catch and then on the transfer dropped it. So I think there has been some conference calls with the umpires back to New York City to say, hey, we're not going to be that ridiculous about the transfer. Rosario struck out swinging the first time. Ground ball to third, could be two. Amarista to Jerko. Jerko back to first. A double play. Around the horn. 5-4-3. And that does it for the Rockies in the top of the 5th. We're at the halfway mark in this one. 1-0 Padres. 1-0 lead and a lot of goose eggs up there for the Rockies. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo. Tweet your photo to hashtag SD fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming telecast brought to you by AT&T. Danny with his Padre pals. And between innings, Walt Weiss going out to talk with plate umpire Laz Diaz. We're only guessing that it has to do with the Cabrera catch and transfer. Now, even had they ruled that it was a live play, they could have said safe here, live play, but Cabrera then had plenty of time to throw to second base. Wouldn't have made any difference, but I'm sure that Weiss says, what's going to be the rule now?
Yeah.
What's the interpretation? Because that was the same play in Cleveland, and they called it a base hit on DeNorfia's ball. Amarista starts it, bottom of the 5th, then Kennedy and Cabrera. Doubled the last time up. Look at this. Excuse me. Struck out the first time. Cabrera was the man who doubled the first time up. And you can see he's much tougher on lefties. And
yeah.
Numbers reflect that coming into the game. 2 for 12 left-handed hitters. Right-handed hitters 378. And now 3 home runs in 3 games.
They're in on the corners. The Rockies are. Arenado at third, Morneau at first.
Breaking ball drops in there. Slider. Xavier Nady's home run, the only score. High pop fly back of short. The fielder Dickerson coasts in under it for the first out. Brings up pitcher Ian Kennedy, grounded to third. Kennedy, high school in Huntington Beach, with another Ian Stewart, who was with the Rockies, was a high school mate. Ball 1.
You know, that's a situation where I would love to go back. There's many situations where, like Clayton Kershaw, did he play with Stafford, Matthew Stafford or something?
Yeah, he did.
How about, I'd love to go back and watch those guys play.
High pop up. He got a good swing on that one. Tulowitzki eases out. He said, "Get out of my way, Dickerson. I know the outfielder, when he calls, is supposed to have the play, but I'm the man." 2 away. Oh, Dickerson, there's your veteran presence taking charge.
I was just going to say, even after Tulowitzki caught that ball, he wanted no part of Dickerson. He's calling him off. He's waving those wings. Dickerson, okay, you want it, take it. And then after the catch, not even an exchange, not even a look.
Swing and a miss by Cabrera. His double into the right field corner in the 3rd with 2 outs. And then DeNorfia followed with an infield hit. But the Padres unable to score as Jerko ended the inning with a ground out. But the base hit gives him a 9-game hitting streak. Oh, and 2. Counting today, hitting right-handed. Cabrera's 5 for 14. Inside. In fact, to begin today, the switch hitting Cabrera, hitting right-handed 333, hitting left-handed 333.
Nice.
That's fairly consistent.
Absolutely.
Another quirk in the statistics, the Padres as a team hitting 234, the opponents of the Padres hitting 234.
You think he overthrew that one a little bit? Way up and out of the strike zone. Rosario out of the crouch. A pitch count getting up there as well, 77.
2 gone here in the 5th. Another tight game between these two NL West rivals. 1-0 on Nady's home run.
A lot of pitches up for Morales. Southland Technology says all those pitches, with the exception of number 3, up in the zone. See if Everett can get on top of one of those.
Comes downstairs and the count goes full. Line to right, but it's carrying, and Kadire makes the play. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres in the 5th inning. 1-0 for the home side.
He wants to be a key figure in our rotation. He's taking that very strongly about being a guy. He's got a lot of pride. He's a winning pitcher for me, and I think that there's no doubt that he can get back to his 2011 form. Is he going to win 20 games? That's a lot of factors in there. But this guy knows how to pitch. He's determined. He's got a great deal of will.
Ian Kennedy, high praise from manager Bud Black, and indeed his top start as a Padre after 5 innings, a 1-0 lead. Arenado leads it off. He's flying to center field. Thanks to the double play in the last inning, Kennedy has met the minimum number of batters. 5 innings, 15 batters. Arenado, LeMahieu, and Morales scheduled here in the 6th. Ground ball hits the bag, and there's the first hit of the game. Tough luck because Amarista was there. Nady digs it out of the corner, and Arenado has a double. That's just bad luck. First hit of the game for the Colorado Rockies.
Now, it looks like it was a pitch was up as well, and nothing that Amarista can do right there. Arenado throwing the head, getting some top spin on it. That's something you don't see every day at the ballpark. Right off the bag.
It would have been a tough play for Amarista.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Arenado at second base, the tying run. No one out here in the 6th. And this presents one of those, is it going to be comfortable for Ian Kennedy, because he's been pitching from the full windup almost the entire game. LeMahieu grounded to third. His first time up. He's 5 for 13 against Kennedy.
Well, the key here for Ian Kennedy is not to overthrow, as we mentioned earlier. Just concentrate, making good quality pitches. Seems like he's got all of his pitches working. We've seen good spotted fastballs. We've seen darn good curveballs. And he's flipped out some changeups as well that have been quite nice.
Went around. 0-2.
That looked like a slider.
And it was way outside, but LeMahieu couldn't check.
Yep, out of the hand, working around that baseball, and LeMahieu. Not a good hack. Not a good cut.
Pitcher's spot due next. Morales is in the on-deck circle.
Oh, Mark Sweeney, we're kind of blocked from the Rockies dugout down there, but do you see any other position players down there that are possibly batting gloves, bat, helmet?
No, I just saw Walt Weiss have communication with Franklin Morales, and
Kennedy has only one play, bare hands, and nice play by Medica to dig that out. Now that's not his normal position. He's a catcher, but as a catcher he had a lot of short hops, and he backhands that tough one hopper as the runner Arenado moves to third.
Tell you what, that saves a run, right? Possibly saves a run. This ball gets by Tommy Medica. Arenado was on second base. He could very easily round third and score. So a nice pick by Tommy Medica, and the bare hand grab. See how he bare hands it? The back leg anchored for Ian Kennedy.
That's a tough play. Remember, Eric Stoltz slipped on a similar play in his outing earlier in the series. Infield in. So Walt Weiss goes with his pitcher in a 1-0 game here in the 6th. And 1 out. Runner at third is the tying run. Morales struck out his first time. And of course that infield especially alert to a possibility of a squeeze. 1-1. Kennedy has struck out 5, walked 1. Arenado at third. The first hit that he's allowed. A double off the bag at third.
This is Stu Cole, the third base coach, in the ear.
Late swing there. 1-2.
He got the sign. Stu Cole did, the third base coach from Walt Weiss. Stu Cole flashed the sign to Morales, and then Stu Cole goes down and into the ear of Arenado at third to tell him what's on.
Walk him out. The 6th Colorado Rocky that is fanned against Kennedy today. So 2 outs. Rockies can't tie it on an out. Go to the top of the order, and Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon has popped a short and struck out. He's been especially effective with runners in scoring position, hitting .500. 7 RBIs and 8 at bats in this situation. Out of play. Yeah, we don't keep track of foul balls, but in the series, I would guess Blackmon is fouled off 30 or 40.
Yeah. And you know what, guys, and Mark Sweeney in particular, I haven't seen any of these Rocky hitters really squaring up on an Ian Kennedy fastball.
No, it looks like his fastball has that extra gear today, and he looks very aggressive with his fastball today.
To third, Amarista across, and the inning is over. Kennedy pitches out a treble and leaves Arenado at third. It's still 1-0 Padres.
visiting our keys to the game, brought to you by our Honda dealers of San Diego County. Hey, get started on the ropes early. Well, Morales is pitching quite well. 79 pitches through 5 innings. He's only given up 1 earned run and squandered 4 hits. Extend the inning. What I meant by that is, you know, rather than having a 1-2-3 inning, multiple base runners, maybe a 2-out knock to extend it. And you see right there, twice he's had a 1-2-3 inning, and 4 batters twice the Padres have had offensively. So we got a tight one here. It's a good one, Dick.
All right, and Ron Fowler, Alexis Fowler, there in the front row, admiring a 1-0 lead, but tentative, so the Padres would like to have more. Kennedy losing his bid for a no-hitter in the 6th inning with that double off the bag at 3rd, but pitching brilliantly today. Denorfia starts it here in the home half of the 6th. Takes a strike. Well, Morales pitching beyond his numbers coming into the game.
Hey, that's what's great about this game, right? You never know.
Lays off 1-1.
And I know hitters never taken for granted. I know Mark Sweeney's probably been in a lot of lineups to where they're facing a guy who's 1-7 with an ERA about 6 and a hay, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, the guy you look up and he's in the 8th inning.
Foul back. It's 1-2 to Denorfia.
That's why you got to go after every guy, Mark, right? Like he's a Cy Young Award winner.
You do, and this is the major leagues. You understand that talent. You can throw all of those stats away. Everyone has that opportunity to have that night. And it looks like Franklin Morales is definitely in a groove rather than his last starts.
Speaking of having a night, on this date, Mike Schmidt had one to remember. Foul back. Wrigley Field, a game that went 10 innings. Mike Schmidt hit 4 consecutive home runs and then threw in a single for 8 RBIs.
What a great day in the big leagues that is, huh?
Oh my. Just to hit 4 home runs puts you in such selective company, and then to single and knock in another run. So Xavier Nady, he's a couple of batters away. It's his home run. That is the difference. 2-2 now, Denorfia.
You know, Mark, you touched on it last night. The Padres on this homestand look very comfortable on trying to execute their plan. Yes, those numbers aren't where they want to be, but they look much better attacking their type of plan at the plate.
Hitting coach Phil Plantier there with the skipper.
You know, one thing I've noticed, Mark, is that the Padres have done a nice job of laying off that breaking ball down in the zone.
And they've done a nice job hunting that fastball and trying to make him throw those breaking balls more for strikes.
Hey now.
Full count.
That's some inconsistency right there. Way up and in from Morales. Hey, Mark, does it make you feel uncomfortable against a guy like this? You really can't dig in, so to speak?
This is the closest thing to minor leagues. You know, Mark, in minor leagues, they throw very, very hard, and they're not pitching to location. They just want to ump up that velocity because they see those radar guns behind them. But, yes, the minor leagues, it was very uncomfortable. Get to the big leagues, they know where the strike zone is.
Oh, that's a great point.
Speaking of the minors for the Padres, right-hander Birch Smith, who came up to the big club last year, a little forearm problem. As Denorfia whacks that one foul down the right field side. He'll be sidelined for a week or so. Cameron Maven continues his rehab. He has been part of the El Paso AAA club the last week or so, playing every game.
A lot of pitches up from Morales.
Up the middle, Tulowitzki. One away, and Jed Jerko the hitter. And it's time for our Saquon Casino Vacation Stat of the Game. Coming into the game today, fewest strikeouts by pitchers this year. The Rockies are at the very bottom. They're at the top of that list, but they have struck out less hitters than, or fewer hitters than any other team.
Yeah, a lot of balls being put in play, huh? Cubs are right there at 110. Hey, it's a tight pack, a tight trifecta.
Jerko, walk and a ground up. Quite a pitcher's duel. The Padres a run on Nady's home run. There's Xavier waiting his turn. They have only 4 hits off Morales. And Ian Kennedy giving up just one, a double off the third base bag to Arenado. 90th throw coming up from Morales. Tyson Ross goes after win number 2 tomorrow night as the Padres entertain a 3-game series hosting the Giants and Matt Cain.
That's always a good series, isn't it? Looking forward to that.
Giants and Dodgers even at 10-6, tied for first. Arizona off today. They're happy to leave home. They went 0-6 on the homestand. They go to Dodger Stadium for 3 this weekend. Way outside. There are pitching matchups. Cain and Ross tomorrow. Saturday, a 5:30 game, 5 o'clock on Fox Sports San Diego. It'll be Stultz and Hudson, and then Lincecum and Erlin on Sunday. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Off speed gets Jerko.
Well, after seeing all that hard stuff right there, Morales pulls the string and goes with the back door. I don't know if that was by design, though. I think he wanted that one down and in because Rosario was set up in. You tell that Jed was fooled not only by the action of the pitch, but the speed of the pitch as well.
Nady struck out the first time and then hit his 3rd home run of the year for the only score of the game. Here it is, 4th inning. Tags one right down the heart of the plate. Lower deck left field. His 3rd home run. There's another off-speed pitch, and Nady fooled.
Be interesting to see if Morales throws him a fastball for a strike this at bat. Looked like there was a fastball he hit out of the ballpark.
Went around.
It was a fastball, but it was way up, right?
Couldn't resist, couldn't check. Levels at 2-2 to Nady. Doesn't break enough again. Full count, Nady. Grandal would be next. That's the 7th full count. Franklin Morales. Grandal has a base hit.
Hey, how about extending the inning here, right? That was one of their keys. 2 outs here rather than having a 1-2-3. Have a runner aboard and have Yasmani go up there and try to do some damage.
98th pitch. Ground ball toward the hole. Arenado again. Look at this kid play. He makes it look easy. That's it. From this sampling in this series, since Brooks Robinson, this kid, you can actually use his name, Nolan Arenado, in the same sentence. 1, 2, 3. The Padres go in the 6th.
fastball for a strike. The breaky ball. There's the curveball. He's throwing the changeup as well, but one thing, he's throwing some good fastball by these Colorado Rocky hitters. He's got all four of his weapons working for him. Hence, the one hitter that he's twirling right now as we go on the top of the 7th.
And even the one hit, the double by Arenado, clipped the third base bag. Eluded Amarista. Might have had a play. Kadire leads off the 7th. Here is the lone hit, Nolan Arenado. Amarista was in position, but it hit the bag and skipped over his glove for a 2-base hit. Strike to Kadire. Grounded out twice. By the mound. That's a tough play. Cabrera's got to hurry and gets him by a half stride. Kadire came up hopping. He might have twisted his ankle a bit as he hit the bag. It's been a rough series for him. He crashed into the wall and had a deep bruise on that right elbow in the opening game of the series.
A good hustle by Kadire, but hey, you're hitting it to a pretty darn good shortstop there as he comes up. Well, that'll make him forget about his elbow. Let's watch him grab. Look at, he grabs his left hamstring.
Immediately the Colorado trainer over to see if he needs to go back into the clubhouse. Sliced just fair. A little number off the bat of Dickerson. He's on his way to second and has a double. That was off the end of the bat, a little flare just inside the foul line. So both doubles, both hits, quirky.
Yeah. And you wonder why this game of baseball will just drive you nuts, right? You make a good pitch, it's off the end of the bat, finds a garden spot behind third base for the double. And then guys, like the other night, who was it? Was it Tulowitzki? Hit the right on the screws for the double play. 5-4 the double up at second base, the line drive.
Line drive to third.
Yeah.
Here is Tulo. Struck out and walked. A tying run out at second. One out here in the top of the 7th. 80th pitch from Ian Kennedy, who goes into the 7th inning for the first time this year.
Great ratio for Ian Kennedy. 61 strikes to 19 balls for a total of 80. Runner on second base. Dickerson step off and regroup. Sometimes, the universal signs are first sign after 2, right? So a catcher will give a 3, 1, 2, 1. First sign after 2 would be 1. That'd be a fastball. Some pitchers are different, and if you shake off, then you just go to the first sign.
Ball 1. Ball 2, rather. So this is a rough spot of the batting order for Ian Kennedy. Tulowitzki, Morneau, Rosario. And Dickerson has set the table with that bloop double. Snaps that one in there. 2-1. 92 on the fastball. Morneau a home run last night, 3 for 3. Nobody breaking in behind Dickerson.
It's good to do that once in a while, just to keep maybe a half step closer.
3-1. 1 out. Dickerson at second. 1-0 Padres here in the 7th. It's only the second time he's gone to a 3-ball count, both times to Tulowitzki. Morales, 98 pitches in the game. We'll see whether or not he's going to come back out for the bottom of the 7th. Rex Brothers has been throwing in the Colorado bullpen.
And Ian Kennedy's good for about another 20 pitches. Right now he's at 83 as you take a look at Rex Brothers. Ian threw 103 against the Dodgers his first outing. He threw 96 against Miami. Threw 94 against Detroit. First base open. 1 out. See if he throws him a breaking ball here. 3-1. Or maybe a two-seam fastball down and away.
Ball 4. So Tulowitzki walks for the second time. 2 on with 1 out to Justin Morneau.
Well, let's take you back to the 5th inning. After a walk and a ball off the bat of Justin Morneau, Fox Vision says that the ball is 8.8 feet from the ground, and Everett Cabrera goes up, times it perfectly to get the out. If you're scoring at home, that's a 6. And at that time, Ian Kennedy had not allowed a hit.
Morneau lining out to Cabrera and grounded out to second the first time. Infield looking for 2 in the dirt. Ball 1.
This is a part of the game where the guys in the bullpen maybe kind of start to get up off the bench maybe and just kind of walk around a little bit, anticipating maybe a phone call. Nick Vincent is getting the wing loose.
Tying run. Dickerson at second. Tulowitzki at first.
And Ian wants to have a chat with Yasmani. Carlos Gonzalez, number 5, right there, stretching his arms. Had the day off today.
You figure you're going to see him with a bat sometime during the game. Pitcher spot is a good distance away, as Morneau's the number 5 hitter. Troubled spot here in the 7th. Line drive right field. Denorfia goes back and can't get it. It's over his head. That's going to score 1 and tie it. On his way to third is Tulowitzki on a double off the bat of Morneau, and he continues his hot hitting. That hit so hard it just screamed right over the head of Chris Denorfia. Dickerson coming in to tie it. And with 1 out, Tulowitzki over to third.
I think Chris may have come in on this ball initially. It was a breaking ball, and then before he knew it, he committed. Now you got to retrace your steps or create a different momentum going back on the ball, and by that time it was too late.
All 3 hits for the Rockies, doubles, 2 of them here in the 7th inning to tie the game. Darren Balsley out to talk with Ian Kennedy. Let's see how Denorfia, did he take a false step forward on that line drive and then couldn't quite get back in time?
Yes, he did. He took about 2 steps, and then you could see he kind of went to his left a little bit to try to regroup. That's got to be one of the worst feelings for an outfielder, man. You know, you make that commitment initially, then all of a sudden you misjudge it, and tough ground to make up there.
So after Cuddyer had grounded out, Dickerson with that flare double inside the foul line to left. Tulowitzki walked, and Morneau line drive double over Denorfia's head. 1-1. And here's Willeen Rosario, struck out and grounded into a double play. Dangerous hitter. Nick Vincent is throwing in the Padre bullpen. The attendance today, 17,557.
I was just about to say Buddy Black might be getting the double barrel up because Torres is quickly getting loose as well.
1-1.
And that might be just because, remember, we saw the good old number 5 heating up.
Yep.
If Walt Weiss chooses to load that bullet into the chamber, Carlos Gonzalez, well, Buddy Black would then counter with Alex Torres.
2-1. But Black thought that might have been a strike. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. That is a strike in the same spot. I mean, it painted the previous pitch.
Yep.
One for them and one for the Padres, says Las Diaz. Here's a big pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kennedy thinking strikeout. Get rid of Rosario. With Arenado on deck.
That guy made a heck of a grab with the backpack there, barehanded.
Tulowitzki and Morneau aboard. Chopped it short. It's going to be a play at the plate. No, he doesn't go to the plate. And Tulowitzki scores. And the Rockies take a 2-1 lead. Cabrera had a chance to go to the plate. Tulowitzki got a late break from third.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I can't think whatever Cabrera was thinking on that play. He's thinking, you know what, it's not a force play at the plate. It's going to have to be a good throw on a chopper as Tulowitzki. Let's see.
But he's running toward the plate. Look at Tulowitzki.
Yeah.
He's kind of jogging in.
He's thinking, take the sure out at first base. Can't tell you why. That's
Rockies
the choice he made.
2-1. Now, normally, if the ball had been hit a little harder and he'd had to stay back at short, that's one thing. But the ball dribbled weakly off the bat, so that forced Cabrera to come in. So all his momentum was going toward home plate. And I think he knows now, why didn't I go to nail him at the plate? Well, split second decisions. Arenado, a double the last time off the bag at third. We got a little scuffling going on down behind the dugout of the Rockies. A couple of fans arguing about their grade point average. Oh man, one fan throwing a left jab. They're going at it. Somebody get a referee in between those two. The Rockies out of the dugout checking out the scene. Finally some security. They're taking one of the fans escorting him, and they'll probably take 2 of them to their own pen here at Petco. 2 strikes now. Ground ball wide and into the hole and to left field, and coming around to score is Morneau. It's 3-1. As Arenado, just a sweeping swing, not hit hard but perfectly between third baseman Amarista and the shortstop Cabrera. So it's a big inning for the Rockies, who have been held in check with 1 hit through 6 innings.
Well, you talk about placing that ball perfectly. A 4-hopper through the left side. Looked like a pretty good pitch from Kennedy. He got his ground ball, but it just didn't happen to be at one of his infielders.
So the Rockies now lead 3-1, and here's LeMahieu. 2 outs. He's grounded out twice. Runner goes. The throw by Grandal. Nice catch by Jerko. Easy steal by Arenado. His first stolen base of the season. Kennedy had not paid much attention. A disheartening inning for a man who had a perfect 5 innings or 4 innings and a walk in the 5th. Didn't give up a hit till the 6th. And now it's fallen apart here in the 7th. 3 runs in. 2 strikes to Arenado. Kadire grounded to short to start the inning. Then Dickerson with that little bloop double to left. Tulowitzki walked. So first and second, 1 out. Morneau lined the double over the head of Denorfia. And Rosario knocked in another run with a ground out. Arenado a single to left, and it's 3-1. Count remains 2 strikes on LeMahieu. Well, the Giants coming to town, and that's a good lineup. But right now, when you look at the guys that Walt Weiss sends to the plate, this is an awesome lineup.
It is a good lineup.
They can all hit.
Right, and as Walt Weiss said, he's got a good mixture. He's got the veteran players and the youngsters as well.
Finally, the strikeout of LeMahieu, and the 7th comes to an end. Not until the Rockies score 3 to take the lead. Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Well, for the first time this season in his 4th start, Ian Kennedy works into the 7th inning, but it was a big inning for the Rockies as they score 3 times on 3 hits to take a 3-1 lead. Franklin Morales then, with his best outing of the season, allowing a run and 4 hits, he comes out, and Rex Brothers into the bowl game for the Rockies here in the 7th inning. Morales had retired the last 8 men since a single by Grandal after Nady's home run in the 4th.
Well, the opponent's batting average off of Rex Brothers very impressive. 105 off the left-hander. Power arm from the left side.
Grandal fouls it back. Brothers took the loss in the opening game. Walked a couple, and the Padres eventually scored 2 runs without the aid of the hit and won 5-4, and that made 2 straight games Brothers had lost. He gave up a home run in San Francisco on Sunday.
Hey, Dick, it looked like Chase Headley was on the Padre bench getting some gear on. You never know, might be ordered to pinch hit at some time.
1-1. So while Brothers has been tough to hit, 105 batting average, his last 2 times on the mound, he suffered a defeat. Sunday in San Francisco, the home run. Fouled into the glove of Rosario. 1-2. Grandal fly to center and grounded a single to center field in the 4th. Each team 4 hits, but the Rockies put 3 of them together in the 7th for their 3 runs. Fouled into the glove of Rosario. Strike 3. First strikeout for Brothers. Morales went 6 innings, 1 run earned, 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, belying the statistics that he brought into the game.
And lefty Rex Brothers goes, that ball looks like it's right down the plate, and Yasmani can't catch up with it. Good power fastball.
Medica fly to left and grounded into a double play. 92 on that fastball. And the Padres now have to come from behind. They need a couple to tie here. Plenty of time. Bud Black studying that lineup card, anticipating how he might use his bench.
Well, the Rockies have another lefty, Boone Logan, in their bullpen, and the Padres only one we know. That's Alex Torres. As there's Boone Logan there.
Logan pitched in game 2, 2/3 of an inning, walked 1, struck out 1, didn't allow a hit. Walt Weiss looking as catcher Rosario goes out to mother Rex Brothers a little bit. He set a record last year, did Rex Brothers, age 25. 32 straight scoreless appearances spanning 30 innings. That's a Rocky record. And he struck out 11.2 per 9 innings.
Well, that conversation right there with the count 1-1, interesting. That may have been some time to give Boone Logan a little bit extra time to heat up as well, or it could have been, pitch selection here.
2-1. That's a strike. 2-2.
That's a good pitch. Brothers gets that good downward angle because his arm angle is right up on top. Iron Mike coming right at you. And then down and into Medica for pitch number 4 right at the knees.
Struck him out. So Grandal and Medica fanned by Brothers. That'll bring up Will Venable.
After the fastball down and in, Rex Brothers pulls the string, and it brings Tommy Medica to his knee for the strikeout.
Brothers from Lipscomb University. I got you on that one.
Oh, that's a tough
nickname of that one.
Yeah. The Lipscomb Lips.
No, the Bisons.
Oh, yeah?
They're in Nashville, Tennessee.
Now, is it Bisons or just Bison? Because Bison is plural.
Well,
because I've got a bone to pick with them.
Well, you call them in Nashville and you tell them that they're making a big mistake with
because
that.
Because Bison is plural.
So is Bisons
it
singular?
Just go Bison.
Is Bisons
because
singular then if Bison is
it's
plural?
both.
So it's okay. Bisons can be plural. Every other animal, you put an S on it, it's plural, and all of a sudden bisons? You can't do that with bisons? How about buffaloes? Buffaloes, you could put an S on. There's the bunt by Venable, but Arenado gobbles that up, makes an easy play. So the Padres gone, and we're going to go look for some bison.
Now, top of the 8th inning, Mark Sweeney and Mike Pomeranz working on Padres Live, the post-game show, brought to you by Cox Communications. Boy, Ian Kennedy throws a nice ball game. In the end, right now, anyway, the Rockies take a 3-1 lead and still got 6 outs of offense left.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ian Kennedy, it didn't work out the last inning, but they have 6 outs. They have to find a way to come back. That builds a morale of a ball club.
Got to do a little something against these Rocky relievers, guys. When we see in the post-game show, we'll have everything that happened today. Plus, we'll take you for a trip around the National League West and prepare you for the Giants series that begins tomorrow. They're in action against the Dodgers today. And you're going to hear from the Padres manager, Buddy Black. And we'll probably go bison hunting.
Mike and Mark will be back with you in the M&M for the Fox Sports San Diego Padres Live post-game show, so stay with us. Nick Vincent comes out of the bullpen. He'll face pinch hitter Drew Stubbs. Leading off the top of the 8th inning, the Rockies down front 3-1.
Good numbers for Nick. Opponent's hitting 158. That part of the game where he needs to throw up a 0. Hopefully, like those guys said, Mark and Mike, 6 outs to work with here. Nick needs to throw up a 0.
Stubbs 3 for 21 as a Rocky. Flare of sun through the third base side. Approached almost the 6 o'clock hour here in San Diego. Rockies trying to gain a split in the 4-game series. The Padres need to rally to try to take it 3 out of 4 and move to the 500 mark. Line to center right at Venable. Had to take a couple of steps. Well struck.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Get a report from the Rockies dugout that Kadire did suffer a left hamstring strain, and he's now day-to-day. Kadire. First pitch to Blackman is a strike. He's 0 for 3. Take a bite out of his 442 average. Brandon Barnes is in the on-deck circle, so Kadire is out of the game. Bouncer to second. Churko to Medica for the second out.
Well, this is what the Padres need. A nice quick inning from Nick Vincent. Get back in that dugout.
We've seen Barnes in the series. On the season, he's 6 for 27. 222 average. So Kadire did yank that hamstring, and a day-to-day operation then for him. Vincent fields the bunt. Barnes is out. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Nick Vincent. Padres coming up. Amarista, the pitcher spot, and Cabrera.
On Fox Sports 1 is back with a doubleheader as Mike Trout and the Angels take on the reigning AL MVP Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers. Then the Diamondbacks square off against Yasiel Puig and the Dodgers. The action starts at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1, and it's streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Watch it.
Gentlemen up on the ladder of that huge crane out in left center field. Construction off in the gas lamp district as Boone Logan out of the bullpen to pitch the 8th inning for the Rockies, and he'll face a couple of pinch hitters. Nick Hundley is going to bat for Amarista, and Chase Headley's on deck, and apparently he'll hit for the pitcher. Stubbs stays in the game. He's in center field. Looks like Blackman is going to left field. That still may be Dickerson. We'll check on the outfield alignment, but Stubbs does stay in the game in center field. All right, 3-1. Colorado, bottom of the 8th. Nick Hundley, the pinch hitter for Amarista. First ball, Henning, and fouls it back.
Well, we saw Chase Headley in the dugout put some gear on. He is swinging the bat on the on-deck circle. Practicing his swings from the right side against the possible appearance against Boone Logan.
Tulowitzki on the charge and one away. Now let's go back to the play with a runner at third. Tulowitzki. Rosario hits it to Cabrera. It looks as if he's got to play at the plate. Tulowitzki's only halfway to home plate.
Yeah. And it looks like Tulowitzki is anticipating.
Let's see where Grandal is, however. Well, the throw to first base, tough to see on that shot.
Yeah.
But in some ways, the new rule about collisions at home plate, you know, you can't block that runner without the ball. And Headley off the bench drives a base hit to left field. Oh, that's a good sign. Headley rested for the last 2 starts, and he rips that first pitch for a single to left field. That'll bring up the tying run.
Hey, get it done and get it done quickly. First pitch offering and a hot smash line drive. Good looking swing on the fastball off the bat of Chase Headley. Boy, not only did the Padres need that, a base runner, but Chase Headley needed that as well.
Barnes stays in the game. He's in right field for Kadire. Blackman moves to left field with Stubbs in center. So it's a new defensive alignment. Blackman in left, Stubbs in center, Barnes in right for the Rockies. As we're to the top of the order, Cabrera, a double in 3 trips. He lined out the last time. Padres trying to muster a rally here in the bottom of the 8th inning. DeNorfie on deck. One and one. With the double in the 3rd, Cabrera extending his consecutive hitting streak to 9 games. DeNorfie stretching it out. He's 1 for 3 today. Padres have only 5 hits. The big one, Nady's home run, a solo shot in the 4th that gave San Diego the 1-0 lead, but the Rockies rallied against starter Ian Kennedy. 3 hits and 3 runs in the 7th. 2-1. Dale Thayer, Joaquin Benoit in the bullpen for the Padres.
So if the score stays the same, it'll probably be Thayer. If the Padres take the lead, possibly Benoit.
Outside, 3-1. Cabrera can be selective now. Nothing wrong with a walk. Get that tying run on. Fans trying to spur the rally. 17,557. Ground ball, one hop Arenado. There's one. Back to first. A double play. Around the horn. 3-1 delivery. Cabrera goes for it and hits a nice one hopper to Arenado, who's done nothing but make every play look easy, even the spectacular. Quick throw. 5-4. 3. We're expecting some big crowds here at Petco over the weekend. Tomorrow night it'll be Tyson Ross shooting for his second win of the season for San Diego against the veteran right-hander Matt Cain. For the Giants, Cain off to an uncharacteristic start. He's 0-2. That's a good matchup. Hope to see it. 6:30 for our Fox Sports San Diego telecast tomorrow night, but hope to see you out here at the Yard. First to 3. The Saturday game at 5:30, our TV time 5 o'clock, and then Military Sunday 12:30, our telecast to wrap up this homestand. Dale Thayer is the pitcher here in the 9th inning. Josh Rutledge is the pinch hitter for Dickerson. Yonder Alonso's at third base. Bud Black talked about that Yonder, who when he entered at University of Miami with the Hurricanes, was a third baseman, but there was a fellow in front of him that was hitting pretty well called Ryan Braun, so they moved Alonso over to first base.
Let's see if the ball will find him. Alonso's appeared in 2 games at third base during his big league career with the Reds in 2011 and once with the Padres last year.
Swing and a miss. Might have foul tipped it, but strike 3 as Rutledge goes down on 3 pitches facing Thayer. That'll bring up Tulowitzki. And Yonder, remember, played second base a couple of games a year ago. So that's right. Every place but shortstop on the infield for Alonso. They're deep at third. Too low. Fouls it away. He has struck out and walked twice. Padres have done a good job keeping him in check in the series. 4 for 13. He's been on via some walks. Walked once in game 2 and a walk, 2 walks today. Side edge. 1-2. Well, the Padres bottom of the ninth, needing a couple. We'll have Denorfia, Jerko, Nady scheduled.
Sounds like a couple to me.
And then I got to talk about Yasmani Grandal. He'd hit fourth.
LaTroy Hawkins, the big right-hander, heating up for Colorado in their bullpen.
Looks like he's going to make his 949th Major League appearance. The ageless one. Full count to Tulowitzki. Only 4 hits for the Rockies, but they bunched 3 of them in the 7th to score 3. And ball 4. Tulowitzki was on his way to first base before umpire Diaz could make his call. 3rd straight time he's walked. Well, Justin Morneau has been a pain in the neck, hasn't he, in this series? RBI double was the key blow in that 7th inning. Denorfia took a couple of steps forward by the time he could retrack. The ball was over his head that knocked in a run and set runners at 2nd and 3rd, and they both scored.
5 for 11 in the series. That's
including a home run.
Yeah.
Morneau's only 32. He'll be 33 next month. Out of play. And as required of all Canadian young men, played hockey in high school. British Columbia. He had some big years with the Minnesota Twins. 2006 he hit .321 with 34 home runs. And he hits this one deep to right field, and on the run Denorfia tracks it down. The throw back to first base not in time, as Tulowitzki was only about 20 feet from second base.
Well, that ball off the bat of Morneau going towards the line off the left-handed bat, pulling. It'll start to hook towards the line. Chris Denorfia knows that. Boy, he spins on this ball nicely. Get to that baseball up and in, and then the race is on.
He's got that RBI double, and he's lined out twice as well.
That's how he catches it on the run. Spin towards that glove hand side. Plant that back foot. Get that ball back in quickly to the infield.
2 outs to Rosario, credited with an RBI on a ground out. This is just a fly ball to shallow center, and Venable puts it away. And the Padres, with a 3-1 deficit, will bring up Chris Denorfia. He'll try to get it started for Jerko, Nady, and maybe Grandal against LaTroy Hawkins, who's coming in from the bullpen. ninth, our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Well, when you came to the ballpark today, you never thought it would be Franklin Morales, but he pitched extraordinarily well. 6 innings, 1 earned run, and only 4 hits, struck out 5. Belying his statistics in his first 2 starts, 11 2/3 innings, when he gave up 9 runs, 16 hits, and 6 walks. But he put it together today against the Padres. In the 7th inning. Now first, that was the double, the first hit of the game. And then the double over the head of Denorfia. Ground ball to short. Tulowitzki scores on the ground out by Rosario. And the 3rd run scores on Arenado's seeing eye ground ball to left field. So Kennedy had allowed only 1 hit. You saw the first hit, the ball by Arenado that hit the bag at third. But they bunched the hits in the 7th and 3 big runs for Colorado. And they call upon the old man in the bullpen, LaTroy Hawkins, who has offered his talent to 10 different major league teams.
Well, last time out here in San Diego on Tuesday, an inning for the right-hander. Surrendered 1 hit. Total of 8 pitches for the 41-year-old right-hander LaTroy Hawkins.
He's number 19 all-time now in appearances in the big leagues. This is his 949th. He recently passed Raleigh Fingers. Not all those games, 949 in relief. He was a starter as well. Picked up his 3rd save of the year 2 nights ago. Did give up a hit, an infield hit to the man he faces to start things here in the 9th, Denorfia. One and one.
He's got that big frame, Dick Enberg, LaTroy Hawkins. And you know what? There are max effort guys, and then there are guys who make it look free and easy. LaTroy Hawkins is the latter.
Easy mechanics. He's never really had any serious injuries. Thus a 20-year career. Up the middle and by Tulowitzki for a base hit. Denorfia gets it started with a leadoff hit, his 2nd of the game. So he's got 4 hits in the last 2 games. That brings the tying run to the plate.
Well, we talked about Chris Denorfia in his spray chart earlier in the game, right? Not pulling the ball a lot. Well, that ball is right up the center of the diamond. That's where the majority of his hits are this year.
Jed Churko walked, grounded out, struck out.
If there ever was an inning where the Padres needed multiple base runners, this be it right here.
Or a big shot. And that's a pretty well hit ball to deep right center field. Back to the wall goes right fielder Barnes to make the catch. Oh my, Churko. It jumped off his bat. It looked like it might have extra bases on it, but Barnes able to run it down.
Well, he had the right idea, didn't he, Dick? That was a nice, easy look at Jed. He's tracking it, eyeing it. Knob first, barrel to follow, and he drove that pitch exactly where it was pitched. Nothing you can do there.
Couple of steps from the wall, captured by Barnes. So here's Nady. His home run, the only Padres score today. Back to the mound. There's one. Back to first. A double play. And the Rockies close the deal with that 6-3 double play. The Padres managing only the 1 run, Nady's home run, and the Rockies square the series 2 games all as they win it 3-1. Let's go to Mike Pomerantz.
Guys, coming up in a post-game show, we're going to take you through a tour around the National League West, prepare you for the Giants series that begins tomorrow, show you how they did today. You'll hear from Buddy Black and why number 7 was just unlucky.